New developments this evening in the Parkland school shooter sentencing trial. There are now allegations that one juror might have threatened another juror during deliberations. Everyone was back in court this afternoon, just one day after that jury recommended that Nikolas Cruz get life in prison. 10 Tampa Bay's Liz Crawford has been covering this trial for us. Liz, there's been a lot of anger since this verdict was announced.
Families and politicians on both sides of the aisle expressed shock and disappointment that the Parkland killer didn't get the death penalty. Now we're learning new deliberation details. Emotions still high one day after a jury decided the Parkland school killer should spend his life in prison.
To deny the imposition of the death penalty for somebody that massacred so many people in cold blood.
Governor DeSantis weighing in again.
The state of Florida has executed people in our history who've committed really dastardly crimes, but crimes that didn't reach this level of carnage.
Thursday, Parkland families called it another gut punch.
I pray that that animal suffers every day of his life in jail.
Florida law requires a unanimous jury vote for the death penalty. A letter by one of the jurors written to the judge said the deliberations were very tense and some jurors became extremely unhappy once I mentioned that I would vote for life. And now, new allegations.
We're here this afternoon on the state's motion to interview juror SF230.
Friday, they were back in the courtroom to discuss a phone call the prosecution said they received from a juror.
This is a safety issue. I repeat, we are not trying to set aside the verdict.
The attorney told the judge a juror said another juror had threatened them and they were frightened.
We have asked an uninterested party, which would be law enforcement, to speak to the juror. Frankly, we don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole.
I understand.
Because we know that the defense will be jumping up and down and saying that we are trying to undermine the verdict.
Now, the prosecutor did clarify that the juror reporting the threat is not the same juror who wrote the judge a letter. Liz Crawford, 10 Tampa Bay.